Greetings, patrons and corner crew. I hope everyone's doing well. As you can see, we have two table setups going on here in the studio, and I'm just going to give a brief little update. Here is our snow table, and this is going to be the Battle of Twin Hills, and here are the Twin Hills, and there's a nice little flat valley in the center. This is going to be a snow battle, and we are anticipating that Dragon Rampant is going to win the poll. It may not, though. I'm keeping it up till tomorrow, Thursday, so you never know. Another game might win. Whatever game wins, it's going to be a snow fight. So we'll determine that as soon as the polls are done. So that's one table I'm working on. And then here is our demo table for Uncharted Seas. But this is a very homebrewed Uncharted Seas with a lot of scratch builds. We have a scratch-built ironclad here for the humans, a monitor class river ironclad. We have a heavy ironclad there with the 3 turrets, and that is also a scratch build, and 2 of the official models, the gunboats for the humans. So humans are protecting their coastline. And then we have the dragon. This is a race that actually utilizes dragons in their fleet. And we have this dragon that I just made with pipe cleaners and foam. And this dragon is a part of what I call my 10-minute builds. It took me 10 minutes to make the dragon. Of course, when you paint it, that adds another 10 minutes, another 15 minutes, whatever. I haven't really finished painting it, so it actually takes a little longer than that. I would say, at least a half hour to get everything nice and painted. But, so it's just at the very lowest level of paint and 10-minute job, okay? And we're going to talk about that in a new article, which, by the way, guys, I have to notify my patron, but basically I've decided to change the articles a little bit. It's going to be a monthly homebrew, okay, homemade magazine style document. And in that magazine style, we're going to throw in all the updates and things that don't make it into the videos. And it's going to have a lot of pictures, and it's called the Tabletop Gamer Scratch Built Edition, and that is a perk for the second tier in Patreon. And basically, this is this month's is going to be about 30 pages roughly, or a little less, a little more. I don't know. I have to condense things a little bit, but it's going to be a whole bunch of different articles and things on scratch building, my miniature painting projects, anything like that, anything. But most of it will be scratch building, and there is a section within it that's going to be called Scratch Builder Monthly. And Scratch Builder Monthly is just a fancy term for any project that I'm working on for that month, like the Spelljammer project, and you'll get an article or something detailing how I made something. So this method here that I use, this is a very modular method. All it involves is bits of plastic, some stones. Here is my green mat, which has been cut to simulate and we do have a breeze coming in, a very nice breeze. I have to secure that, by the way. I usually put little alligator clips on the bottom to secure the mats so they don't move. And this is a layering technique that I use to represent like a coastline, some wave surf, the ocean, shallow water around the islands, so certain ships cannot enter that white spot there, and that's why they're there. And basically that's it. And the wrinkled nature of the mat is really cool. I really like it. And when you move your ships too, sometimes it will cause the little water-like thing, when the ship is moving. So it's kind of cool. I like using mats a lot, all right? And this whole setup, I mean, this is all 99-cent stuff. So it really works well. Now, in order to make here's what I wanted to show. This is what I'm experimenting with. Different little cloth bits to represent things like peninsulas and all that. Now, keep in mind that I'm not done with this. I will probably do some texturing to these bits. I'll buy some texture paint and do that, okay? But here is like a little peninsula or something. Texture this, add some terrain. You have like a little peninsula coming out. I do have one that has, looks like a little hooked. Let me see if I can find it. It looks like Cape Cod almost here in the States. For those of you that live in the States and you know about the Northeast, you've heard of Cape Cod. Well, there you go. Cape Cod inspired little matte piece, okay? And basically, fix it up a little bit. And so this allows me to represent different land masses on the water. And I, you know, usually I kind of press it down a little bit, whatever. I think this was backwards, actually. This straight edge here, it goes to one of the edges on the board. Okay, so let's just set this up. And I'm doing this one hand because I'm fixing the phone. I'm holding the phone with one hand and trying to fix this with the other. There we go. So we have like a little Cape Cod like hook there, and then I can put an island or whatever, right? But basically that allows me, this kind of cloth technique allows me to represent different land masses, and of course all this stuff folds up, and I could dramatically change the water table. Basically with this technique also, if I want to have a really large table and represent a lot of different kinds of land masses, we can do that, you know. And so that's why I really favor these kinds of cloth techniques, even though you sacrifice realism. This technique does sacrifice realism, but with imagination you can kind of fill in the gaps, you know. This is supposed to be a fort. This is my top-down fort. I'm gonna have something else to better represent a fort, and that's a coastal fort by the humans. And I think in this demo game we have to get the dragon bearers here, these dragonborn, whatever they are. They're not really dragonborn, but they are associated with dragons. We're going to get them. They have to get to that river, all right, and get these small ships to actually enter the river. They are trying to take supplies that are going to be necessary to a land-based campaign upriver. So we want to get those ships upriver and hopefully have them enter the riverbank. Now, the humans have ironclads, and I have rules for those ironclads and stats and stuff. So that's why they bring the dragon. And dragons are no joke in this game. Your dragons will damage or sink those ironclads, you know, when they come into base-to-base contact with them. So I don't know which faction I'm going to play, and whether this is going to be a solo demo or how long it's going to be. We're going to figure that out. And if Julie decides she wants to come on board, then it'll be Julie and I. And we may just do like a couple of short turns, one of our, you know, short demos, just to give people an idea of how Uncharted Seas works. And most importantly, folks, most importantly, the whole thing about my channel is scratch building. How we use scratch builds in these various games when you don't have all the miniatures that you would like to have. So I fill in with ironclads because I love ironclads and that's my style. And I also add a little pipe cleaner dragon because I don't have any dragons in this scale. Oh, and by the way, that dragon will have legs. I have the legs already. He's fully posable, so I can take him out of that stand and actually turn him into a terrestrial dragon and use him in 15 millimeters. So he's going to be fully posable. It's a great advantage to use the pipe cleaners, you know, because they do give you posability. So again, a 10-minute dragon, you know, it is what it is. I have to finish painting the base a little bit. All right, and that is it, folks. I just wanted to update what's going on and what's going to happen. We've been a little bit slow uploading. We've had internet problems. We've had medical issues going on. We've had a couple of things. So we've been a little slow uploading. And of course, I'm very much, I'm very busy because of Patreon, because I do have to deliver stuff to our patrons. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to do. Stay tuned, folks, for the upcoming games. We have Uncharted Seas, a la MJ, and we have a snow battle coming up, and that's going to be set up today for whatever game wins the polls. Keep voting, guys, and we'll talk very soon. I hope that you like this update. All right. Take care now.